The game that is Anthem is a heavy one on multiple levels. Many say that this is Bioware's last chance to prove themselves as a developer before EA shuts them down. Even though that statement might be quite dramatic, you can't say that everyone, even if you're hyped or not, are waiting to see if Anthem is going to be a massive success or a massive flop. And with EA Play coming up this Saturday, let's summarize everything we know about the game so far. So let's get the most important part out of the way. When is the official release going to be, and when will our questions be answered? During EA's last financial call, they stated that the game is going to be released at the end of this fiscal year. That is March 2019. As for an exact date, we do not know just yet, but that means that it's less than a year before we can step into this world. It's also stated that Anthem will go through a early access-like period, which will most likely be labeled as closed or open beta tests. The positive thing about this is that we will get a good feel for the game as to what it actually is and what it will become upon release. It would also be an indicator and a very good way for people to know if this game is going to be something for them or not, disregarding the hype for the game. One interesting fact is also that Bioware's developers have said that this game will be unlike anything you played before, sparkling that with multiple big words and giving the game some added hype. Being as bold as making statements with this make or break attitude, which we have seen as a thread through the development so far. If this is actually the case or not, that is the real question. So what kind of game is Anthem going to be? So far, they have said that it's going to be a fundamentally social experience, pressing on the fact that the social aspects are going to be key in this title. Games like World of Warcraft have lived for years on its social aspect to a big degree, so if BioWare nails something like this down, that is going to make this title worth to stick with for the foreseeable future. If not, this could be its main downfall. On the website, it says that it's going to be a shared world action RPG. Some articles stating that it's not an RPG but an RPG-like experience, which is weird since we know that there are loot, progression and skill upgradable systems in the game, which makes it sound very much like an RPG, though some might argue that for it to be a true role-playing experience, more systems needs to be in place. This is one of the main factors that split the audience on games like Fallout 4, for example, where many of the RPG elements of the previous titles had been ironed out. The shared world aspects makes it sound like we're moving towards an experience similar to a game such as Destiny, but with a heavier aspect on social interaction. We know that there are weapons in the game with stats and rarity grading, seen in the gameplay trailer with the legendary weapon found there. This puts the game towards a path of a looter shooter like Borderlands or again, Destiny. So if that's your thing, this game might be worth a try. This game is built around a live service, and through our creative process, we've decided to add more to the disruptive new social designs for our players, was another statement from the EA financial call. We have also been told that the game is going to be supported for years to come, pushing further towards the live service model that EA holds so dear in this day and age. This model does have its ups and downs, with free-to-play model monetization being a frequent thing in full-priced titles. Pay-to-win is also always a concern. This has caused a previous uproar with EA published titles such as Battlefront 2. Balancing this kind of model to feel as fair as possible will be key to the success of this game. But with it being such a grand undertaking as it actually seems to be, one might wonder what they will try to push in order to maximize profit. Regarding what has been said with high odds speculation, the game will be alive and changing with multiple biomes and weather and interactable environments and terrains. Monsters and aliens to fight, as we see in the trailer, and much more. From the trailer we can see that the world is one of the most impressive features so far in the game. Let's just hope that they put this much detail other than just outside Fort Tarsus. If so, at least this will be a looker on many levels, and the world will be one of the most detailed and interesting we've seen in gaming so far. And talking about Fort Tarsus, that is the hub that you will start off and where you will have your javelins, and probably much more. It's going to be probably where you socialize with other freelancers, as you are called in the game. The teaser said, "You either live with the choices you make or you die trying to chase them," which hints towards a choice-based system not unlike Bioware's previous titles. How big a part this will have in the game remains to be unanswered so far. And I mentioned javelins before, and javelins are full-body exosuits along the Iron Man idea of providing weapons, protection, and the ability to fly. In the Anthem game, javelins act as classes with their own unique abilities, and you will have the freedom to collect multiple suits to diversify your playstyle. Anthem's game director Jonathan Werner points out that javelins will be heavily customizable, so they look and play how you want. In the trailer we see 3 types of javelins that are playable: the Ranger, which looks like a balanced all-around class, the Colossus, the tank-type javelin that most likely focuses on surviving a beating, and a third elemental-type javelin that looks like a ranged DPS or support-type claws. There's also concept art out there of this elemental type with multiple elemental styles, one with sort of fire and one with electricity, so that is probably going to be a thing as well. A 4th javelin was spotted in the teaser pictures, but what that class actually is something that we're gonna have to wait to get more information about. In the end of the trailer, we see a world event called a Shaper Storm. These will most likely make the world feel dynamic and offer good rewards, but as to what they are, we unfortunately do not know much about just yet. As the game is being published by EA, we can expect a console and a PC release, hopefully on the same date, so we don't have to deal with the same type of launch that Destiny had. Being a PC player myself, I don't want to wait months in order to get Anthem that console players will have. And on a personal note, make cross-play a possible thing. I would love that. And that's it for today's video. Do you know more that we did not cover in this video? Then leave a comment below. We would love to talk to you about it. We also do a lot of live events that you can be a big part of, so don't forget to subscribe and press that little bell. Leave a like or a dislike, and we'll talk more in the next video.